So we are continuing our session. In the previous session, we have discussed about how to take the measurements and what are the different rules of measurement we have discussed. In this session, we are going to discuss how to extract the quantities and what is the estimate, how it looks and all we are going to discuss. Okay. Now, before going for a detailed estimate, you need to first know how to extract the quantities from the given drawing. Okay, given drawing. So, extraction of quantities, methods of methods of extraction, methods of extraction of quantities. Methods of extraction of quantity, how to extract the quantity out of the drawing. Okay, now so the quantities like earthwork, foundation and concrete, brickwork in a given drawing, okay, and also what it may be in the substructure or it may be in a superstructure can be worked out in any of the following way. Whatever the different ways I am going to tell you, in that any of the following way you can do you can extract the data. Okay, the basic methods are long wall, short wall method. One is long wall, short wall method, long wall, short wall method, long wall, short wall method, and second one is centerline method, centerline method, centerline method, and the third one is partly centerline, partly centerline, partly centerline, and short wall method, and short wall method. Okay. Now see, these are the three basic methods we generally use for regular symmetric kind of structure, regular structures, regular structural components. If the structural component, sometimes these methods may not be applicable also. These methods may not be applicable also. In that case, what we will do generally, we will take the cross-sectional areas. Okay, for example, if you are doing a volume, if you are finding the quantity of an earthwork, okay, if you are finding a quantity of an earthwork, for example, see, this is an earthwork, for example, so this is a cross section, this is a cross section, for example, you are finding the volume of an earthwork or a volume of a ballast, okay. So when you are doing it, so for example, if you want to determine the volume of this, you want to determine the volume of this, then how can you determine the volume of this? You will take the, here you cannot use the long wall, short wall method or centerline method also. Okay, here what I will do generally, what we will do generally, you will take the height at different locations. Okay, height at different locations. I am just writing it as a straight line, but in reality it will be somewhat undulated only. It was somewhat undulated only. So you need to take all the levels here, all the heights here, all the ordinates here. You will take all the ordinates. So by taking all the ordinates, you will take the, you can use a trapezoid rule, Simpson's rule for getting the for getting the for getting the for getting the quantity, for getting the quantity. Okay, So likewise, generally, so long wall, short wall is also used. So here, here, whenever you are taking the volume of this is also a quantity we need to calculate. So generally, in estimating, if it is a regular structure, then you can find it using long wall, short wall. But in general, there are many other methods also. I would like to mention here, not only the three methods which we use for finding the areas, quantities. There are many other methods also. Again, whatever be the method, our intention is, if you see, if you are taking different uneven, though it is an uneven profile, so you are taking an average profile. This is the average profile. This is the average profile. Okay. So what I'm doing here, once you know the area of this cross section, once you know the area of the cross section here, let the area of the cross section is A1. Let the area of the cross section is A1. Okay. Let the area of cross section is A1. Here there will be another area which is invisible to us now. So this is another area. So if you know this area, let this is area of cross section A2. So for finding the quantity here, then we need to take, if we want to measure length, width and depth here, we want to measure length, width and depth here. So it is not possible for me. It is not possible for me for getting the length, width, depth calculation here. Here what we do generally, we will take area of A1, A2, average area into what is the length here. What is the length here? So sometimes you can take the quantity by using length, width and depth. Sometimes it may not be possible. So in those locations, we will use different methodologies. There are different methodologies for getting the areas, for getting the quantities. But the basic three methods which we use is long wall, short wall and centerline method, and partly centerline and short wall method. So what is the methods in detail? Let us see. Long wall, short wall method. Long wall, long wall, short wall method. Long wall, short wall method. So in this long wall, short wall method, I will tell you with an example. I will give you an example of it and I will explain it. So later, this is a small room. This is a small room where this is one wall having more length. Okay. So this is another wall, same length. This is another wall. So this is a small room where I want to estimate the area. Okay, I want to estimate the area of the brickwork. Okay, so this is the total. This is the location of, this is the area I need to find. Let this is 10 meter. For example, for our calculation, I am telling this is 10 meter. Okay, this is 10 meter, and this is let this is so I will take it like this. I will take it like this. This is a common location which is coming in long wall as well as short wall. Okay, this is a common location which is coming in long wall as well as short wall. It's a common location. Okay, so these are the common location which is coming both in long wall and short wall. Okay, now during long wall, short wall method, so what I'm taking here is this is the total length. This is the total length here up to here. So I'm taking the total length up to here. Let it is 10 meter. Let it is 10 meter. And this total length from here to here, let it is 20 meter. Let this is 20 meter. Okay. Let this is 20 meter. Let this is 20 meter. Okay. Let this is 20 meter. This is 10 meter. Or else instead of 10 meter, I will take it as 10.5. I will tell you why I'm taking 10.5. I will take it as 10.5 meter. Okay. I will take it as 10.5 meter. Let the thickness of the wall. Let the thickness of the wall is. Let the thickness of the wall. Let the thickness of wall. Thickness of wall is 0.5 meter. Okay, let the thickness of wall is 0.5 meter. Let the thickness of wall is 0.5 meter. Okay, now what is the area? What is the area surrounded by this area? If I want to find the area of the long wall and short wall, okay, so the total area, if I want to find of the brickwork or anything which is lying in this, if I want to find the total area of the component, then then what I will do, I will do one thing. So in long wall short wall method, long wall is measured, long wall is measured outer to outer, outer to outer. Okay, long wall is measured outer to outer and the short wall is measured inner to inner. So long wall generally we measure it outer to outer. That means, for example, see, if this is the outer line, let this is the inner line. Okay, let this is the center line. Let this is the center line. Let this is the center line. Okay, so this is here. This is the outer line. Outer line. This is the inner line. Inner line. Okay, and this is the center line. This is the center line. Okay, first I need to measure the center line length. I need to measure the center line length. This is long wall. This is long wall direction. Whichever is having more length, that is long wall direction. Whichever is having less length, it is short wall direction. So this is the short wall direction. This is the long wall direction. Now, once you measure the center line, once you measure the center line distance, center line distance plus half thickness. So this is the total thickness. This is the total thickness, right? This is the total thickness. Okay, this is total thickness. This is t by 2. This is again t by 2. Okay, this is again t by 2. This is again t by 2. Now, this is the, if you see this is the center line distance. So from here to here is the center line length. Okay, on the long wall side direction, you need to add half thickness on one side, another half thickness on the other side. That means on long wall side, so I have told you long wall is measured outer to outer. That means long wall is measured from here to here. So if you know the center line distance, so this is the center line distance. This is the center line distance. If you know the center line distance, this is length center to center. So this is the length center to center. So whatever the length you are getting center to center, plus t by 2 on one side plus t by 2 on the other side. So this will give you the length of the long wall. Okay. So length of the long wall length of the long wall is equal to length of the center line, length of the center line, length of the center line along long wall, along long wall plus t by 2, that means thickness thickness of wall by 2, okay, on either side. So add thickness of wall on either side. So t by 2 plus t by 2, t by 2 plus t by 2, that is t again. That means the length of the long wall is taken outer to outer you will take. Whereas length of the short wall, so length of the short wall is equal to inner to inner, inner to inner, inner to inner. That means length along the center line of short wall, length along the center line of short wall minus t by 2 on one side minus t by 2 on other side. Okay, if you see here, so this is short wall. So here this is the length of the center line. So this is the length of the center line. If you see here, this is the length of the center line. This is the length of the center to center along the shorter direction. So but I want it from inner to inner. So inner to inner means this. That means I have to deduct half thickness on either side. So this side I have to deduct half thickness. This side I need to deduct half thickness. So if I deduct half thickness, then I will get the length along the shorter span or shorter wall. So now if it is 10.5, and the wall thickness is 0.5, for example. So if the wall thickness is 0.5, then I need to take the shorter direction. I need to take it from inner to inner. Here, inner to inner. That means inner to inner means from here. I need to take it from here to here. That means 0.5 is the thickness of the wall. If I remove the thickness of the wall, that means length of the shorter wall is 10 meter. Okay. Similarly, length of the longer wall, I need to take it from outer to outer. This is outer, and again this is outer. So outer to outer, it is 20 meter. So what is the area here? Area is equal to 200 meter square. So this is the area. Isn't it? This is the area. Now, if I am using the centerline method for the same figure, if I am using the centerline method, what it will come? Let us see. I am using centerline method also. Centerline method means centerline method so here while you are doing the volume, generally this is not a 200, small correction here. So generally the area here is for along the shorter wall, it is 10 meter. 10 meter is the length, 0.5 meter is the width. 10 into 0.5 plus here this is 20 into 0.5. How much it is coming? 5 plus 10, 15 meter square. So 15 meter square. Okay, 15 meter square is the area. 15 meter square is the area. Now using the short line method, whether we are getting the same area or not, let us see. Using the short line method, whether we are getting the same area or not, let us see. Okay. Now, if you are using centerline method, so here this is the total outer to outer measurement. This is the this is the total inner to inner line. Let us take this as inner to inner. So let us take another line which is a center line. Let this is a center line. Let this is the center line. Okay. Now here I will take the length of the center line. I will take the length of the center line. See, so this is how much in the previous example. What is the length in this direction and what is the length in this direction? What is the length in this direction? I have taken it from outer to outer. I have taken this outer to outer length is 10.5. Here it is 20 meter, right? Here it is 20 meter. Now if I'm taking center line distance directly, so what is the center line distance? What is center line distance here? So here center line distance means from here to here. From here to here. What is the center line distance here? What is the center line distance from here? What is center line distance from here to here? From here to here. It is equal to, so this is equal to 10.5 minus half thickness on either side, right? So how much is this? How much is this? This is 0.5 by 2, that is 0.25. That is 0.25. Similarly, on the other side also, 0.25. So that means, so short center line length along shorter span is center line length along shorter span is how much? That is equal to 10.5 minus 0.5. How much it is? It will be how much? 10 meter. Okay, it will be how much? 10 meter. Okay, so it will be 10 meter. Now similarly there will be another, this is 0.25, this is 0.5, 10 meter only. Another, so you need to take the length of the center line along the longer span also. This is the length. See, this is the length. This is the length here. This is the length here. So what is the value of this? What is the value of this? What is the value of this? See here. This is center line length. Center line length along shorter span. So which is equal to center line length along, for longer span, not shorter span. It is longer span. Center line length along a longer span. How much it is? It is equal to 20 minus. So this is half thickness. This is half thickness, and this is half thickness. Okay. So what is the length of the center line along the longer span? 20 minus 0.5 again. It is how much? 19.5 meter. 19.5 meter. I hope here we have did some small mistake. See here, the center line length I have taken it as 10.5, but here it is 10.5 from outer to outer. In the long wall short wall method, while calculating the length of the shorter wall is nothing but length along the center line. So what is the length along the center line? So the length along the center line is how much? Length along the center line is 10 meter. Length along the center line is 10 meter. So that means here the length of the short wall, will be how much here? Length along the center line 10 minus 0.25 minus 0.25. That means it is 9.5. It is 9.5, isn't it? So that is a small mistake we have did here. So if it is 9.5, then the area is 9.5 into 0.5. The area is 9.5 into 0.5. Okay, it is not 15 square meters. It will be something else. Let us see afterwards. So now coming to the shorter span again. So this is the center line length. This is the center line length along the. This is the center line length along the shorter span. This is the center line length along the longer span. Now the area is equal to 10 into thickness. How much it is the thickness? Having 0.5 plus 19.5 into 0.5. So if you do this, this is the area with respect to center line method. This is the area. Let us calculate the area from here. The area is 10 into 0.5, that is 5. 19.5 into 19.5 into 0.5. So 9.75. So 9. This is 5 plus 9.75. So which is coming around 9 plus 5, 14.75. 14.75. So this is the area from centerline method. If you see the area from here also, if you see 9.5 into 0.5, 9.5 into 0.5, it is 4.75. So here this is 4.75. 4.75 plus it is 10, that is 14.75. 14.75 meters square. So if we are using the long wall short wall method also, we are getting 14.75, and if we are doing center line method also, you are getting 14.75. So long wall short wall method and center line method both will give you same result. The only thing here is, here if the thickness is uniform along the length and width. So if the thickness is uniform, generally we prefer, the long wall short wall, center line method. If the thickness is not uniform, then we prefer long wall short wall method. Okay, so now these are the two methods, and the third method, that is partially long wall and partially long wall method and the partially centerline method. Okay, the third method, partially centerline and partially short wall method or cross wall method. See when the walls are having different thicknesses. For example, if I draw a plot like this, this is a small building. So where the outer walls are having uniform thickness, exterior walls are having uniform thickness, but there are some partition walls in this building. Which are having different sizes, having different thicknesses. This is one partition wall. Okay, and again there is another partition wall like this. This is again another partition wall like this, which is having different thicknesses, So here, generally, if the walls are having uniform thickness, okay, see, the walls are having, if the walls are having uniform thickness, if the walls are having uniform thickness, we prefer centerline method. We prefer centerline method. We prefer centerline method. That is generally for external walls. Generally for external walls of a building. External walls of a building, we prefer this method. We use centerline method. And for partition walls, for inner walls or partition walls having varying thicknesses, we use long wall short wall method. Short wall method. So this is very important for objectives. This point is very important for objectives. So where we use centerline method, where we adopt a long wall short wall. So generally in a building, if you see external walls are having same thicknesses, there we prefer this centerline method. It is having uniform thickness. If the wall is not having uniform thickness, okay, the inner wall, partition walls varies. It may have different dimensions. So in that case, we prefer long wall short wall method of varying thicknesses. Okay, now this is how we extract the quantities. Now, in the coming session, we are going to discuss what are the different types of estimates. Okay, with a real time example, I will explain you how to prepare an estimate. There, all the doubts and all the concepts which we have discussed so far, you will get to know, understand by looking at that example. Okay, if you are having any doubts, you can use the SIS Plus doubt clarification portal. Okay, so thank you so much. We will meet in the next session.